What's up guys, Jordan here. Today I'm going to do a tutorial on how to fix weird cars. Sometimes what will happen is you'll get a car mod, such as this one, for instance. It's a nice car mod, obviously, it looks great. And you want to make a drift line for it, right? So let's say you do all the things that you would normally do. Or better yet, why don't I'll show you how we used to make lines back in the day before we knew anything about like any deeper mechanics of the game. So the way we used to make that lines back in the day, we changed the drag to 1, we changed the grip to 7, because no one really knew how to make lines properly at this time. Changed the grip to 7, the grip lost to 8, changed the grip bias to 5, so it's balanced, cool. Give it lots of power, lots of speed limit, lots of power, and would obviously give it about usually 40 steer limit. And this was as far as we would go. We wouldn't change any other values. Let's see, respawn the car. And we would expect that the car would just work. I don't know if you can sort of tell, but this is definitely not going to work. I mean, look at that. This is no way. Unless you're really, really, really good at drifting, there's just no way you could really get this to work. Because, as soon as I put the power down, whoosh, I'm steering out. And this is what it can be like for some cars. When you're designing some cars, you'll make a really basic line for it. And no matter what you do, it will just not work. And even if you were to follow my protocols, where you make the drag like 2, for instance, do 0 to 75, this 65. We'll do the steer limit at speed limit as that's fine. And let's see how much power does it usually have. It will have about 20. Usually has about 200 horsepower, so let's do that. And we'll put use max speed limit on, of course, as we do. And I recommend if the car does oversteer a lot, turn this off. You only really want this on if you want lots of oversteer with lots of low speed power, but we're going to just turn it off. So use my protocols, you put the line to its default like this. You go back into the game. Spawn in. Let's see if it behaves better. And it does. And the main reason obviously is because it's got a lot less power. I don't know if you can still tell, it does oversteer still. So it still runs into the issue that it oversteers too easily. Let's try and do this corner. It's already oversteering. It's just got too much oversteer. So you may be curious, you may be like, why is this car oversteering and how can you fix it? To be honest, the car is actually oversteering for a really simple reason. It's because the center of mass is too low. So, yeah. So one way you can fix the oversteering of the car is you can change the center of mass to 0. Let's respawn the car. So it's got a little bit of body roll now. Just despawn the objects. This is one way we can fix the oversteer. And already you can see now it's really a lot easier to use. I'm not struggling to, control the car. But obviously you can tell that it just doesn't have a lot of power. Let's give it some more power. Let's give it like 40 acceleration. Be around the equivalent of 400. It feels a lot better, for sure. It really does feel a lot better. So this is one way you can fix an oversteery car. But I'd say the car is still too oversteery for you. It's still gaining angle too quickly. It's still oversteering too much. There are, of course, some other ways. What you can do is you can put some of the weight of the car toward the back. So put minus 215. By putting some of the weight of the car to the back, make the back tires more grippy. By making the back tires more grippy, oversteers less. Now you should be able to put more power down. Yep, I can put more power down. And the car's even smoother now. Look at that. I'm just holding one steer limit. And this goes around the corners perfectly. That's one way you can do it. Right, it's actually still up, which is pretty nice. Some of the car's feeling even better. But maybe you want the car to have lots and lots of power, right? You want lots of power, and you want the car to be a bit grippier. You don't want it to drift too slowly. Let's do that. Let's see how it feels with a lot of power and less and more grip. Does it still behave the same? That's what we want to see. As you can see, now that we've changed the power, it is still easy to handle, but there are moments where it's a little bit difficult. Right now I put full acceleration and boom, I spin out. And obviously you can make the steer limit higher if you wish, so let's try and do that first. And this is how we can just sort of repair a car. Basically, we're trying to make this car feel more like it should. This is what usually happens when you get custom car models. You know, when you get custom car models, they can feel really weird sometimes. So it takes a lot of adjustment to get them right. So we've given it more steer limit now, but I'm still spinning out, as you can see, when I really slant the acceleration out. You could argue that's pretty realistic, but let's figure out how to fix that. So another thing you can do is you can make the upper limit a lot higher. This will increase this will bring up the center of mass of the car pretty considerably. You may need to stiffen the springs though, be aware of that. Let's make this thing with the springs a little stiffer. Oh, and the dampings are way too soft, so that's really just a little bit more bouncy. Might need to be. So hopefully this will have the intended effect. So now the suspension can move more. It's more wiggle room. It didn't really seem to work as intended, which is fine. That can sometimes be the case. So what you can do sometimes is you can actually bring the center of mass up even more. So we give it a positive value, so we do 0.15. By bringing the center of mass higher, you are essentially making the car much less prone to oversteer. See? Look at that. That is so much better now. It doesn't angle as fast. You can recover the drift just like that. Yeah, this feels really smooth. It's amazing. So we get all the benefits of having a lot of power without the debuffs of not being able to handle the car. So I'm going to make these springs a lot stiffer because they need to be stiffer. I'm going to drop the car a little bit. And we're going to, something else I wanted to do. Yes. And then another thing with the car that we're going to see, we can make the car even smoother. So we're going to just make this car like a dream to drift, basically. Just make sure. Yep, this nice and low. Yeah, look at that. Wow. This thing is so smooth right now. I'm obviously just testing around one corner, but we're gonna test it on a map soon. But yeah, this feels like a dream. Feels like a dream, handles like a dream. Really nice. But yeah, the final thing we can do obviously is we can give it some more time mats, make the car a little heavier to steer. I'm gonna do this number. I'm just gonna add a 0 so that the car rolls more realistically. And yeah, now it's just butter. It's very buttery. And this is essentially how you can fix a car that's, you know, not behaving like you want it to behave. Just keep it going around. It will drift up and around. So yeah, that's how you can fix your cars. Sometimes you have to increase the center of mass, and sometimes you'll find that you need to decrease the center of mass. In the case of this car, I feel like it could make this springs even stiffer. So let's do that. And is there any other little improvements I can make? Not that I can instantly tell. So now it's got a lot of stiffer springs to make the car feel more consistent during drifting. Less body roll, less weight transfer. The less weight transfer, the more consistent the car will feel during drifting. Yeah, it just gets around corners. Really nice. So yeah, let's test it on a map and see how it does. Let's go to, gonna have to drive there, so I'm gonna spawn an NRG really quick. The NRG is ID, I think it's on the bottom. It is ID, it's here then, 522. 522. Right, I'm gonna take you on a journey to a map. This server doesn't have the commands that allow you to, you know, I didn't really mean to go up here. This server doesn't have the commands that allow you to just quickly get to a map of your choice, so I'm going to get off this thing. I'll just do this. There we go. And I think it is going to be the motorway. Can't really tell this NRG is not handling how the NRG is supposed to handle. Alright. I just gotta find the right exit. I think it's this exit. I'm pretty sure that this is the right exit. You can see some maps appearing to the left there. We're going to go to one of those maps. I think it's right here. Yes. Let's just drive to the top. Quickly. Very easy in this car. Oh, bike. I would drift uphill, but you know, I prefer drifting downhill. About halfway now. Nearly there. 3/4. Yay. Whoa. Whoa. And the last few corners. And I wanted to see how it, because this map, as you can tell, is very tight, so I'd be curious to know how it behaves. Yeah, we're at the end now. Here we are, we're at the top. So let's spawn the car in. There we go. And signals. This is. Let's see. Right, let's see how she does. Yeah, it feels really nice already. Challenge is to not hit the wall, you see. I would have hit that pole. But yeah, look, I mean, as you can clearly tell, it's drifting really well around this track. And yeah, this track is extremely tight, so if you can drift around here, then you can probably drift well just about anywhere. it's a shame I couldn't make that. Would have been nice. But yeah, you know, a lot of the trouble that cars run into on this game is that they tend to have, when you install a new car, the center of mass is usually really off somehow. I'm going to show you some extreme examples of this actually when we start messing around with making some really interesting lines. Oh, that's better. So I could do like a 90 into that or something like that. Go. And we're at the bottom, just like that. Yeah, so it's super smooth. We didn't really, all we had to do is just, yeah, change the center of mass, make the springs nice and stiff, and then boom, it can handle perfectly. And we didn't even have to adjust the grip IC. Yeah, I hope this was informative. We can just, hopefully you can sort of see how we can fix cars in this game. So yeah, if you enjoyed it, thanks for watching.